Yeah, so smile. Yeah, we're supposed to like whisper.
Wow, I was
Oh yeah.
hot.
Hi, hello, this is Peter. Have you ever wanted to try to sleep in a haunted house? I have wanted to many times, but I have never dared to. But I love to read a lot of ghost novels, and I have read some penguin horror. I have read Shirley Jackson's classic from 1959, The Haunting of Hill House, and it's about a doctor, Dr. Montague, who's a professor in anthropology and philosophy. He hasn't got quite the breakthrough in his career he wanted to. He has a special interest in the paranormal, and that's much more worth to him. So he spends his last money renting a haunted house in the really haunted New England, the most lonely part of New England, and he invites a dozen of people, psychic people who believes, because it's a story about skeptics and believers. He only get two response. He get a response from Nell, short for Eleanor. She has nursed her mother for 11 years, last 11 years, and she has experienced nothing in that period, and she's a shy person drawn into herself, but she sees the invitation like the first real great opportunity in her life. And then there's Theodora, and she's quite the opposite of Nell. She's outgoing, she's into fashion, she's got a girlfriend, she's got a relationship with a girlfriend, and she shares a flat with her, but they have had a quarrel, so Theodora wants to get away, and only because of that she accepts the invitation from Dr. Montague to live for the summer in the Hill House. Finally, we got the fourth person in this story. It's Luke Sanderson. He's a bachelor with the best education and the worst friends, and he's known to steal and to drink a lot, and he's quite of the funny guy all the time. His aunt's own Hill House, so Dr. Montague didn't have a choice. Luke Sanderson had to be part of the experiment, the aunt said. So we have those two quite opposite girls, and the funny guy Luke Sanderson, and the doctor who's going to prove about the paranormal existence. They talk a lot about their psychic gifts, and Eleanor is feeling drawn to the house in a peculiar way. It has a really sad history to it, like most haunted houses have, and it's built by a Hugh Crane, whose first wife didn't even get in the front door. She crashed with her horse and carriage down the lane just before she came to Hill House, and then Hugh Crane's daughter lived a really lonely life in the nursery at Hill House, and there were a lot of suicides in the building too, so lots of scary things in the back history for Nell and for Theodora. They are quite scared about the house. Actually, Luke Sanderson isn't, but because he's a funny guy, but he thinks it's a setup, but Eleanor really feels it's for real, and Theodora doesn't know what to think actually. I won't spoil the story because it's where the whole part gets very scary, but I can say that after 59 in 63 they made the first adaptation to movie, and it's called The Haunting, and you can see the movie poster here beside me, and it's in black and white, and it follows the book pretty much, also in the ending. So if you have seen it, you actually know what happens in the book. And then in 1999, Jan de Bont made a new remake of The Haunting of Hill House and called it The Haunting 2, not 2 but 200. And It's with Liz Taylor as Nell, and she does a fabulous job. And it's with Catherine Zeta-Jones as Theodora, and I love her as well in the movie. And it's with Liam Neeson as the professor, and Luke Sanderson is played by Owen Wilson. It's a perfect couple, and I like it because it has great music in it, lots of violence, and a scenery that I think it's the most amazing haunted house scenery in a movie ever. But it's kind of spiced up compared to the book. So if you like the movie from '99, which I do, I got a bit disappointed about the book. It's a horror book, but more, it's penguin horror, but it more like a ghost story, but there isn't any quite scary parts in the book. I think, I don't know why. Maybe it's because that scary parts also have been spiced up in literature by Stephen King in The Shining. I'm also reading The Shining right now, and I think it's a lot better than The Haunting of Hill House. But The Haunting of Hill House, it's a classic. Maybe classics aren't that good that we always think, because they are old. But if you like haunted houses, I think you should either read the book or see one or two of the movies. Then Jan de Bomp's version from '99 is really good. So if you don't like to read a book that isn't quite as scary as a movie, just watch a movie. But it was The Haunting of Hill House. I hope you will enjoy it. Bye!